Hey everyone, my name is Flicker, and tonight I'm gonna be playing through Sky. Hopping on early because I don't really feel like doing other things while I wait, and I'm not in a mental state to really handle much waiting right now. Oh. Hmm. Clickety. Ah. Hmm. Alright. Hmm. Uh. Ah. Hmm. Okay, so I didn't go here yesterday. Good. I don't have time to worry about that. Okay, so that didn't have a positive reaction mentally. Lovely. Oh. Oh. Hmm. If you're wondering what's got me in such a mood right now, even if I'm not really showing it much, I joined on a friend and then ended up listening to their problems, which I don't regret, but I don't know, I feel useless. Like, I wish I was able to help. I really wish I was able to help them. Because their best friend died. And there's not really much I can do for that. And that's not even to mention the bullshit of the outside world.
Hmm.
Uh, no, one of the reasons why I hesitate in trying to help others or do have an impact on the world beyond the one I'm already having is because I can see the entire Ouroboros lock. And I know that if I don't solve for multiple parts at once, then it's going to be subverted and negated. At the same time, hesitating is not changing anything. Oh. Oh. Okay, so say you solve resource management. How are you going to address entitlement? Spoiled people trying to do things just because they know they can. How do you prevent... Oh, this is a really big one. How do you prevent overpopulation? Because regardless of if it's within a system or structure or outside of it, there will always be people who want to have more kids because it gives them a chance of, because they think it helps them out. Or there will always be those wanting to have more kids. Either because they truly are good parents, or because they simply want their lineage to keep being passed on and they want to give it the best shot. Or they're gambling on the idea that someone might luck out and be able to pull the whole family out of poverty. How do you acknowledge and resolve that without letting resources get overused because of short-term goals? Why did I have to be born on a planet That's speed running. Universal history. Joy. Oh. Don't like that mindset. Just praying to God that I don't believe in. 'Cause I got time, well she got freedom. 'Cause when a heart break, no, don't break even. Oh. Minute I don't sleeping. My heart breaks and it don't break even. Oh, come on, I can't even fucking ride along the clouds? Hmm. The challenge of this world is to bring people together without fucking controlling them directly. Without taking away their rights or freedoms. And whoever created our reality, whatever created our reality, however the fuck our reality happened, I'm just going to say one thing. They were a mad genius. Not a mad scientist, not a visionary genius, but a mad fucking genius. Almost every single part of life has an area where it's counterintuitive to another part of life. So in order to more efficiently learn opposites and/or relativities, it is better for one to actually just, work on finding space between. That takes so long and takes so much mental energy and effort. Without suffering, people don't have a reason to try and do good, really. At the same time, you don't want to pointlessly subject people to suffering, nor do you want to forcefully put them through it, for any good reason. Because that doesn't always help people grow. And let's be real here, no one really deserves to suffer. Now, is that absolutely true? Yes. I would say somewhat. Somewhat close to an absolute. But on the flip side, that doesn't mean people get to run away from the consequences of their actions either. Why did my special interest have to be reality its fucking self? The customer is right in terms of taste, not management. Whatever. No. If I'm to start over from the beginning of what I originally intended to say, Even if you manage to solve resource management and psychology within a country, resource management, healthy psychology, I'm running out of gas. Something's getting me started. Yeah. Nothing super sharded. The lessons stopping down. Why? The center area. Okay, so the intuition predicted that. Lovely. And I didn't really take note of it. We'll find out if it was a good decision in a moment or two. You're welcome. How do you ensure freedom and peace while also acknowledging that there needs to be spaces for people to grow within? Spaces to learn life lessons and motivations from. To explore. No point. Because there's a lot of root rules at play when it comes to reality. One of it, which is, at some point, you can't protect people from themselves. And efforts to do so past a certain threshold will only end up driving them towards whatever you're trying to get them to stay away from. Second, people deserve to live their own lives. There should be freedom of speech and the ability to live one's own life, but how do you balance that with the possibility that other people will threaten certain people's lives? 3, if you make a healthy social system and everything works, no matter what the circumstances, then eventually you're going to have an overpopulation problem that turns whatever paradise you build into a complete and utter ruin. And that's to assume some other dumb shit doesn't happen first. Three, there will always be people who are just flat out stupid and refuse to acknowledge or accept it, either because they think they're doing the right thing, or because they can't accept it. Their own pride won't let them accept their own inadequacy in a certain field or subject. That isn't to say people can't be given the chance to challenge their weaknesses and shore them up by facing the very thing that they're not very good at, but that needs to be balanced with stability. And then you've got the malicious, who would like to see the world continue this self-destructive cycle eternally, and who will flatter, charm, and whatever, do whatever they need to in order to make sure that they get their way, which means even manipulating people. How do you account for them? Without taking away people's freedoms. Don't you want to feel? Because no matter what system or structure you make, no matter how subtle or obvious, eventually it will be figured out and be corroded over time by those who wish to mold the structure to their own ends. We're seeing it in real time, after all. So you would have to design a structure that is not only highly corrosion resistant, but also capable of replicating a healthier version of itself further along, which is ironically similar to how organic life operates. So then then the scale just increases. Speeding up the chase, speeding up the heat, where I need to be for the first time. Taking risks, I'm casting off without a lifeline. Break away, forget your sober chase. Stop throwing on empty words, stop stalling in the doorway. Cancel the cruise control, switching to manual. Don't you wanna feel right again? Don't you wanna feel whole? Don't you wanna feel da ba da 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 ba da da ba da 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 ba da 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 ba da 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 ba da. Up 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 up. How do you account for neurodivergency and queer people as well, let alone the very people who would want to get rid or not acknowledge such things? Just because something is easy and practical doesn't mean it's the right thing to do, nor is it going to come without a cost. Hell, the right thing to do is often difficult and comes with a cost that you'd rather not pay. But if it's a choice between that cost and the cost of other people's lives, a lot of us would like to think that we would choose to fight for other people's lives. But that's not always the case, and so that very nice illusion and the contradicting reality should be acknowledged. After all, idealism is not reality, even if it does have good roots within reality. And remember, to control something is to have an influence over it, not necessarily to actually force someone into doing something. Because at that point, you're taking away someone's freedom. So how do you set up people for success without letting them run rampant into their own fantasies and false misconceptions towards an end that may unintentionally destroy society? And how do you do that without giving into paranoia along the way? Because paranoia just collapses and isolates things, causes panic responses, and ultimately puts a strain and wear on the structure no matter what. Well, that was a missed opportunity. Easy to go back to, though. In order to identify individual things, you must learn to isolate them. In order to identify their functions and the roles they play, you must diversify and take note of everything around them. Thus, no matter if it's a physical object or a concept within the fabric of reality, everything has a range of influence in space, even if it's not always Euclidean space. Hmm. Okay, I'm fumbling. Because if you think about life and everything else as ecosystems and perpetually infecting and or trying to survive even in a civil society, then ultimately you realize that society itself is a collective superorganism made up of individual people, like cells. So getting people to work together is ultimately a priority, no matter what you're trying to do. Infrastructure is like the blood vessels. Resource management related to body health. And the thing is, in the end, there is no real permanent solution, even if you wanted there to be. Because somewhere along the way, something would stop working. Be it something within the structure or system itself, or someone's naively informed decision encouraged by those who know of the consequences and want those consequences to happen. Ah, joy. And then you've got regular people just wanting to live and survive, have an acceptable life with simplicity in mind, but if they're not going to be able to accept oddities and weirdnesses that occur, then ultimately that causes trauma for the divergent points that should be incorporated. Which then gets passed down onto others, and then you have the trauma cycle. Intergenerational trauma. If your way of navigating reality can't handle new things popping into existence, or beliefs you held true breaking and being put into a different light, then sorry to say, mate, but you don't know reality. And your navigation method is incomplete, no matter how much you want to be a sentimental person and keeping it and using it forever. Because that's reasonable. You want to stay with what's familiar. But just because you're considering other things doesn't mean you have to get rid of what you previously had. You can hold on to it for a good time. Good long time. Maybe even incorporate previous beliefs into some of the new stuff you find. Until it's a comfortable mesh of new understandings and old conclusions that still hold up for now. But then you've got the entire dynamic where the brain simplifies things in order to save on energy, and so that deters the learning process. And then how do you do language gap? How do you create a visual language that can transcend boundaries without it ignoring the cultural logistics that already exist for people's convenience? Because it is convenience. He who knew his father was just in vain. But it broke his heart, so he stuck his middle finger to the world, to the world, to the world. There will always be children trying to run away from the consequences of their actions. So how do you make space for preventing toxic shame from taking root in such people in order to help negate generational trauma ahead of time? Because the reality is, well, of course I'm fucking gay, that's obvious. I like girls after all. Cuties. We have to meet one that can actually reverse, that actually is able to reverse things on me. Ah. I'm not gonna stay there. I got tangented. One moment. Dumber people than us have succeeded, smarter people than us have failed. It's gonna be alright. Regardless of if we want it to be or not, it's gonna be alright. Existential positivity, ominous positivity. But really, that's just optimism cranked up to an existential level. Not really anything new. I wish I could be as cool as you. And I wish I could dare the things you do. But I can't and I won't live a lie. No, not this time. Now, how do you hold space for people in the midst of growing without leaving people purposeless or feeling like they're cast out? Because ultimately there will always be a child that wants to hold on to their perspective of how the world works all the way as they grow up into adulthood and enforce that upon others around them in whatever ways they can. in order to maintain their own mental and social comfort. Believe me, it's right, I'm better off dead. Now I can see, think it didn't be this hypocrisy's beginning to get to me. My head, better off dead. It's none of my concern. Look at me, but I don't believe in fate. I guess you'd haven't heard. They didn't make us, they don't even know your name. Falling, falling. Now I'm in over my head, completely unsaid, completely wrist-red, I'm better off dead. Unfortunately, I continue living on out of spite. Too awake for this to be a nightmare. Face. No one plans for it to blow up in their face. Who said it was easy to put back all these pieces? Who said it was so easy to put back all of these pieces? Now I'm in over my head, so something unsaid, completely misread, I'm better off dead. Now I can't see, I think it can't be, this hypocrisy's beginning to get to me. Where my head, better off dead, over my head. Better off, better off. Aw. Never the way I planned, not my intention. Yeah, no. I kissed a girl and I liked it. Am I a guy? Am I a girl? Who knows? But everyone finds me hot, so that makes everyone gay. I love that meme. It is most definitely a part of my goals. Woo! That was a close fly. Just human nature. We live in a world with nearly infinite different truths to live and experience through our lives through. So to say that someone else's experience is false just doesn't work. Doesn't work in the long term or the short term. Oh, come on! Whatever. Because even if you have everyone using the same language, because of their own different experiences in life, you won't get everyone defining words with the same definitions, even if the general idea is thought to be communicated. Thus, miscommunication is one of the biggest pieces of the puzzle. And then there's toxic shame and generational shame, which, let's not even get started. Because that is often controlled by paranoia. I say things with so much certainty that my mom's like, why can't you just accept that this might not be true? And it's like, I don't intend to convey it in a way where I'm thinking of it in absolutes. Fuck. Oh, fuck. Get nice. To lead people, you need to kindle their hearts. But if you lead them towards it, if you lead them falsely or make a mistake and you don't own up to it, then ultimately you lose the trust of the people. Oh. Ultimately, there's no simple solution. Is how do you get people to respect structure without glorifying it or sanctifying it? How do you promote curiosity for the structure in such a way that people are led towards healthy conclusions without constricting their path so much that they go down a negative branch out of spite and then continue on because of that spite? Between heaven and hell. Ultimately, fear is just as necessary as curiosity, but if fear ends up leading the consciousness for too long, it can have destructive consequences. And if one tries to ignore decay or prevent it from happening entirely, then ecosystems end up building up to the point of overwhelm until a giant disaster unfolds. We were the kings and queens of promise. We were the titles of ourselves. Hmm. Eh. Ah. And if anyone listens to this and thinks, oh, I have the solution, it's just this. Congrats, you're taking a hammer to a screw. Hmm. Ah. No, the one rule I hold in life above a good chunk of others is that everything that people can imagine is possible, but just because we can imagine it doesn't mean that it's possible in the way we think it should work. Just because we can think of it doesn't mean that it will work how we think it should. Every single thing imagined is possible. It may not be possible in the way we imagined it. And that's to be just accepted. Let's see, what do you got? Nope. I got found me a bottle of blues. Who doesn't want you? I don't know. Ah. Hmm. Stability from within adaptability. Because pure adaptability doesn't care. Oh, this one. Don't really listen to it often. Not something that really comes to mind. Fucking hell yeah. Creeping up backstairs under those nightmares following the front door. My, come in the window, get dressed, let's go, take it with our keys, bye bye. Why am I blinding? To those of you who snuck by and saw a fragment of this recording, thank you. To those of you who stuck around and watched a good chunk through, I deeply appreciate it. I hope you all have a good day, good night, regardless of good day, good night, whatever time or non-time it is. And if you're feeling stuck or things aren't going well, I hope that they either improve, stay manageable, or that you find a way to sit with your feelings and or vent them without hurting yourself or others. My name is Flicker. I've gotten my dailies done, so I'll see you all later. Bye! After all, everyone's pain is real. In one way or another.